Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a ride, Savannah. Lions gonna come, the birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a ride, Savannah. I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a ride.
So let's actually correct that. 1 second. I'm gonna turn this down a notch. Turn down my desktop audio. Turn up my mic. There we go. So, you have two choices in the JP. You have this classic mode which is what I'm running right now, where I have my cursor, you can see, and I can actually target things by clicking on it. Or you have the mode that you can see them usually demo, which is this action mode, where you're going to have kind of more of a Terra-based system. But I don't much care for that one for this one because it just makes it easier for targeting. You do have to face the mob to the most part though, but as long as you've got it targeted in classic, you can just keep shooting it. That's why I kind of like the classic, because I don't have to actually sit there and turn towards it. I can be semi running away to a degree, as you can see, kiting and shooting, and that's why classic is a good preference for me at least. And I suspect they'll still leave classic in for the US release, simply because if you look at the classes like the Paladin, where you actually have to click on characters to individually target for healing, because they don't have a target macro. They don't have slash target player 1 slash target player 2, etc., etc., etc. That stuff doesn't exist in JP, and they're not giving us access to do macros. So without the access and the ability to make the macros, the only thing I can expect is that they still would have classic mode like they do in JP, where I could actually click on things. I highly suggest using it simply because, as you can see, being able to click and target things and being able to strafe around and have active on that target always is much more helpful for you. What was the other question? Yeah, I stopped typing because I figured it's easier to answer questions rather than typing to each of you individually. I could just talk. Yeah, macros, unless you've got a keyboard, a programmable keyboard, macros are kind of, yeah. Macros, sadly, they've said they're not going to allow, so the only thing I can say is get a programmable keyboard, or like you saw me do initially, which was I programmed everything for my Razer Naga, so I can actually just go through, and my left hand's always on movement, my right hand's always on doing my abilities. I mean, there's a solid rotation here on JP, but on the North American, there's really not going to be rotation. There's going to be more of a preset rotation because they've already got a stance ability. So they've got one stance that does this, one stance that does that, and it does chair stared up down. And COG, if you actually need me to individually answer something without actually saying it, just type out that you'd like an answer to something. I'll gladly do that. But you can see most of the game's play is very much telegraph based, and I don't have to get hit at all pretty much from being strafing around, as long as I'm ranged. Let's see. Just gonna get this pot. For the most part, the game looks pretty nice. I think it's done pretty well. I'm happy that they do have the auto buttons though, so I can just sit here and relax while it auto runs to the place I need to go. But they're removing these little launch, the ability that you're actually doing your basic attack instead for you're just going to be able to do your wide attack. You can't actually just do the auto shot thing. Uh, People are worried about it, meaning that they're not going to have the build up for the actual Ranger. That was one thing that was a concern to a lot of people. Ranger playstyle is going to be a little bit wonky right off the bat, but I think if you can get through it, you'll be happy. It's a good class. I think even if they wonk it up day one, they'll have it panned out. But I really like the lines on that Tiger. If you can actually get on the cat person, if you can get these lines in depth in, really nicely gets off for the light. Make sure you cut out your shine though, because the shine effect really is rough in this game. It makes you look like you don't have fur if you do it too much. But I think everybody who's playing a furry character wants to have some of a furry effect. You can also get more of kind of a leopard look. There's a leopard print early on as well, but I kind of like the zebra stripes a lot myself. Kind of accentuate limbs for the character. My wife actually is going to play one of these. She just finished designing her character last night, and she was going to play with design a little bit more, especially after seeing the collector's mode armor because it's blue. So this blue hair, I don't know if you watched the video, but they did all blue hair up on front, and it looked beautiful with that armor. Yeah. Ah, just having fun with that aggro. Do not res at Reapers, by the way. You don't want the debuff. No, that's okay, man. That comes first. Yeah, for the cat people, it does this running animation. They have a weird footstep. Both the male and female do, and so do the lupins. Both sides, the cat people have a weird footstep, not inhuman, while the humans and the elves and all that stuff, to a large degree, have normal steps. But the female elves also have this kind of what they're in high heels footstep. You're going to find that same thing. You get used to it, or you can play something like the Masku or a human and get a different gait. No, Juice. The mounts will be different speeds, so they all kind of start off as the same. But as you get to blue rank, purple rank, legendary rank, etc., they have different buffs. Some of them increase the speed at which they ride. Some of them increase the frequency of their jump. Some increase how much stamina they have, etc. It really depends on the mount and the buffs that it has. So depending on what you get mount wise, you may have a mount that doesn't have a faster speed but has a longer endurance. But or if you have something that has a faster speed, it may burn through that stamina that is needed to ride that mount. Anyhow, we'll also be getting a blue mount here in just a second because that's part of the game. You inherently get a blue horse, which is called the beginner horse or something like that. Forget its exact name, but it's probably going to be something similar still in the U.S. And we're probably still going to get it because it comes right from a quest. But here's your loading wait time between starting as one of the other races and getting to Spezia. It's already taking us a minute. It's not a big loss, but it is a loss. I mean, you're going to be sitting here riding this thing, and there you go. A little bit under 2 minutes. So that's what it takes you. And see, you're still riding on the mount, though. Spezia is off in the distance there. See the great city of Spezia straight ahead. So we're going to be sitting here till about a minute more. Spezia is actually a really pretty city, all on the water. But the humans start off after their mission area. They start off right there, so they take a little boat trip from there to there. That's it. So that's why humans will get here the fastest, day one. But cosmetically, the other races do have a lot to them. I mean, look at that. Can you deny that beauty, which is cat people? Or the elves, or any of the others. What's up? Not every 10 levels. Like, there's actually ones I can pick up at level 12 from the first little elite. So, first elite I'll see is in here, in the West Adair lands in this Mary Cemetery. There's one right here, and then there's one here at the other end. They're both hanging victims, and they're ghost, and they drop off level, I think it's 14 blue. Then there's an elite that's right about, I think right here, or right down here, one of the two areas. There's some right there. There's one or two there. I wouldn't really put much of an investment though in farming the blue weapons until you get to a higher level. I mean, until you're in your 30s to 40s when you're going to actually use that weapon for some extended period of time, doesn't even matter. Yes, farming elites does matter, but you're going to be level 30 before you actually ever farm an elite, so I mean, most people will not probably spend much time. Oh. The first elite you're probably going to fight might be the Lynx, which is right next to. Boom. Let's see. He's right here, I believe. Yeah, Hibachi Settlement. He's in this area right here. The Lynx. I mean, you're going to be spending most of your first 30 levels in the first two dungeons solo and or doing quests. So you're probably not even going to touch. So, to answer your earlier question, here you go. So you can see these, they get skills. You can see this guy's ground speed is that. But he's getting an increase of his vehicle speed by 10% because he has lower moving speed increase. There's also a moderate or medium, and there's a greater moving speed increase. And there are other benefits that you can get from it as well. So you could actually have a pet with the lesser, medium, and greater. So that would probably be your fastest. I guess you could probably have that. That'd be entertaining, but you'd also have no stamina on that pet. You probably want to have some stamina boost as well. But you're going to have a lot of time with a lot of pets, and you're going to keep going through them. So, there we go. First 30 levels should take you 5 hours tops. You can probably do 5 hours. The problem is 30 to 45. That's where your time sink is. Because even if you had access to the Rhino unhindered by other players, or any of the other stuff unhindered by other players, you're talking about hours and hours and hours of farming those elites to get those levels. You can do it. It's just, I don't know that you're going to get through the last 15 levels really, really fast. You'll get through them. You can get through them, I think, in 30 hours or so easy. But fast, 10 hours or so, like some people are saying they're going to try to do, I don't know that it's actually going to happen. That's just me. I'm just saying I suspect people will not as easily go through it all as they expect they will, especially with the saturation of players. So I still have to do the feedback one. Gotta love all the stuff that's not translated. It just gives you string code. Gotta love the VPNs. They do. You'll need them pretty extensively end game. The cost of actual repairs is astronomical. That's another reason why premium membership is really going to be a boon for people. I mean, a 30% reduction of the cost of repairs is not anything to sneeze at. You don't have many access points to money in this game. You're going to need it. I mean, because we don't have control over the auction house really, so you may or may not be lucky enough to find something that the developers deem worthy of being worth a lot of money or not. Until we have actual control of the stock market in the sense of this game, you're really going to be dependent on those hammers, your own capability of crafting them, and providing yourself with the material and all that stuff you need to subside on your own. Gotta love the VPNs. But early on, the hammers aren't going to matter at all for you because you're not going to repair anything you're wearing until you're late game. I mean, I don't think I ever had to repair my stuff pre 45 because I changed out on my gear too much. I didn't stay at any given level long enough for it to be a big worry to me. Yep. Gear does change very, very quickly. Not much need in it to repair it because you're going to junk it about as quick as you get it. Off to the next little place. The early part here is a lot of little travel scenes between X and Y. But the fastest way to do it is to let the little travel scene do it. So, I mean, you get a little bit of a break early in the game, you know? These first 10 levels, you really get, a break. You can sit back, relax, put your head back, enjoy a pillow if you have a pillow on your chair, and just, enjoy it. Enjoy some of the visuals as well. Should be a little bit easier to enjoy them when it comes to the US and you're not playing through a VPN bouncing off about 50 different countries. Yeah, I think really in all honesty, despite being Unreal Engine 3, the game itself is really quite pretty. I think there's, it being a older engine, it's still got some beauty to it. And it really got some nice landscapes. I mean, once you actually get into some of the bigger areas, like while we're actually doing this boat ride, let's just say up here. Let's see, is this where yeah, that's where I'm talking about. So if you get up here, right here, you get this landscape. You can actually look out on this little hillside on this entire scope of area. Yeah, I mean, you can see that there's been a lot of work done on it. I like this little town because it's got the 2 feet, like you were at the one of the old wonders of the world. Yep. Okay. Here we are. So this is the only way you'll actually make yourself rings and necklaces in the game, really. So it's definitely a profession you'll want on a character because there's no dropped rings and necklaces other than like a base green one that you get from a quest. After that, there's nothing. So it's actually nice to have this profession. Wait a minute, what am I missing? Listen to the description of. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Oh, I had to listen to that. Didn't finish listening to that one. Well, I mean that depends on you. I mean, I think so. There's inherent buffs to each of them. One's, but that's at max. The God mode. God mode. Armor smithing gives you 100 defense. God mode. Jewel crafting gives you 40 AP attack power, and God mode. Enchanting gives you 20 stamina. 20 stamina is arguably pretty shitty. So I would say probably not enchanting for your first tune. But the other two are reasonably useful benefits. So I would say both are going to be something you're going to need because you're going to need to be able to self craft your gear and you're going to need to be able to self craft your jewelry. So it really depends on you, I guess. I think both of them are viable. I don't think you're losing out much on choosing one or the other. But I would not choose enchanting as your main character's profession. I would choose to have it, though, because you will want to have the ability to make high-level enchanting scrolls for some of the pets that you might want down the road. You might not want them all, but you probably maybe want some of the more interesting pets come out at the end, and you've got to have a higher level scroll, which only can be made by the crafter thing. So something to think about. But no, your main character I would not suggest being enchanter. Profession wise, it's pretty. Also, while I'm here, let's go ahead and do this. So you can get the real experience. I didn't do this early on like I would have with my tune, but I'm just doing this now. This is one thing I would say do right off the bat is get yourself 26 of your initial pets and then keep some of your scrolls for when you get out to level 10 like I'm about ready to be and can do your dailies as well. That way you get double the bonus. But you want these pets out and going soon so you can actually get some benefit from them. If you follow me, Heart, you will actually get to see some Danmachi. Just to tell you. I follow and all that stuff are little Danmachi gifts. Ah, dang it. Yeah, you probably want an XP buff, but there's some other good ones as well. Like there's armor increase ones that'll increase your resistance to physical and magic attacks. You can get ones that'll increase your AP, your MP. You can get ones that increase guild EXP. You can get ones that increase the AP that you're gaining, which not only benefits you, but benefits your guild as well, because your AP increase is one of the calculators for giving your guild EXP. So because like early on, like 54, which is one run of the first dungeon, gives your guild 1 EXP. You need 17 points of EXP for the first tier. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Just kind of going up higher, higher, higher. Let's see. Yeah, sorry about that not being that interesting. Just doing it really quickly so it don't have to do it again, you know? Because if I can do it now, then I don't have to do it later in this video. And we can do some upgrading of pets so I can show that as well for you guys. I can always get on one of my other tunes, but no point in not doing it while we're already on this tune. And we got scrolls to spend. I am... What? Let's see. So now we've got all our little rats collected up. We can kill off some rats now. Well, I mean, man, talk within your guild, see what you can be. I think Ranger's probably what you can be, though, Juice. As I said, you guys, from what I last heard, needed another Ranger wouldn't be a bad thing for you to have. There we go. Gotta love VPNs. Got that little bug. Yep. You've kind of hit the basic point of where we've actually started doing the character. Because we're out of the intro-ish stuff for a large part now. Now we're actually into the game. Those first 10 levels pretty much are intro. Never mind. So he's almost level 10 now. So we'll be able to start sacrificing other little mice to him. That's fine, man. We'll get through to the dungeon by then and do at least a dungeon run or two. Let's see. Yeah, we've been going slow. I'll speed it up. Yeah, by now I'm usually at the first dungeon and have run at least 2 or 3 times. I've been answering messages on Discord as well. That's why I've been tabbed out and in. Yep. If I see questions, I try to answer them, no matter where they are. Not ignoring the game, not ignoring it at all, but done this stuff a few times, feel pretty confident with all of it. So, pretty comfortable. This is my 20th tune, 30th tune, 40th maybe? I don't know, somewhere up there. Some ridiculous number of tunes that I've gotten into the 30s or higher. Only got the 1 to 45 because I just really couldn't stand the grind until the US release comes. Okay. Yeah, we're getting close to it. Today is the 25th. 3 days. Only on Monday it'll be here. We just wish we could pre-download, don't you? If we could pre-download this game, that would make life so much easier for so many of us. I hope they don't show favoritism. They let people download at the same speed and all that stuff, rather than, hey, I got 1 million, megabytes per second. I deserve first place. I really hope that I get to, with my low 140, I hope I get to, because me and my wife live out in the country, so 140, 150 megabytes per second is really good out here. We are not getting 1 terabyte lines out here. This is not happening. There we go. New weapon. Necklace. Okay, now we're in instance. It's perfect. Here's another trick. While you're instanced in here, do some killing. Because you can start your quest and actually kill quest here while you're instanced and no longer in the actual channel. And you can kill these mobs, get those quests done to a degree. Start getting some of them done. I think she's still back here, yeah. Seeing if I can get some more of those guys. Yeah. Several people in that Discord, though, are linking, 900 megabytes per second. Envy. Envy, envy, envy. I am envious of that 900 megabytes per second. I checked again yesterday to see if... but you can see, as you're out here, before turning in the quest, you're in a your own little private instance. You can still do the little kill quest to a degree. There's a limit of the mobs, but you can get a few of them down. See, you don't see anything else out here. And that's all going to be full once we get to the real world. But you can at least kill a few of them. And then you got some kill quests started. Come on. Come on, Professor. See, there's some more right there. It's a lot more full when you're in the real world. We'll see what the spawn rates look like when they come out. Hopefully we get, don't get overcrowded, but at the same time. There's a nice little glitch for VPN again. There we go. There we are. See, now, you look at the world, isn't that much more populated? That's a much more populated world. But, of course, it's not going to be this populated when the game comes out. People are going to be killing these things. So you'll do this if you can. If you can't, it's not a big miss. All that's down. Let's see. There's my 12. What's perfect with that is we can now do this. 1. And now we can do this. And now we can do this. Did I put on everything? Didn't put on gloves. we go. Next box will be 20. So there we go. Okay, reanimated corpse is going to be my current kill quest. There we go. There we go, we got some adventure points for that. Okay, going back down here, because I think these guys will be my next one. Not him. Come on, guy. Is it you? Yep, it is. You can see instantly these guys turn into my kill quest. Okay. Okay, we're done with those guys for this second. Let's go back over here. I think this guy's going to be my kill quest currently. Aren't you? Nope. Oh, what about you? Yep, Ghost Defenders. And Rotting Corpses probably as well. Yep, Reanimated Corpses and Ghost Defenders. And Rotting Corpses too. Ooh. So there's 3. And you can see that these kill quests are giving me a good amount of AP and EXP. Because I'm not only getting the XP from killing them, but I'm also getting the XP for the AP, which is would give my guild a boost at this level. So there we go. Need another reanimated corpse, and I'll just... After I get another reanimated corpse, I'll just go ahead and call that for these. Because that'll put me at pretty much a good spot. Yeah, there we go. I can sit here and do 4 levels of all of it, but we'll just go ahead and get on for you. Control Q. Let's go on for the next one. Yeah. Boom. Oh, there it is. Got turned into him. Off to Don Chico. yeah, it gives you some sort of idea. Of course, the combat system's not going to be the same 100%, but some of these abilities are carrying over. For a lot of classes, these abilities, the abilities of those classes will carry over. Like with my paladin, which is what I plan on playing, the heal abilities and the attack abilities, from lack of, any real alteration, they're all carrying over. Their names are changing, but the abilities are the abilities that exist here in the JP server. They're coming through with stances, and I'm going to have to do them in chains that are specific to using this ability first, and that ability in particular in heals and in DPS. But for the most part, it's the same. It's stuff I would already be doing. And that's what most of the classes are, is it's stuff we would already be doing. Some of them have gotten scaled up, some have gotten scaled down, some of them gotten altered slightly. Like Berserkers have been given some major alterations. And Paladins have had their tanking ability removed, really, more or less. But day one, you know what you're kind of expecting to a degree. Let's go ahead and do this guy for 10 minutes. Since we're never going to play this character again, we might as well use this right now. Boom. So this is supposed to kind of show you what a legendary mount would be like for you. Super legendary flying mount. Yeah, Bronto, I think you'll be fine. More or less, you're going to be able to play it like this. I don't think you'd be able to see as far as I can see. Possibly, Bronto, that might be the only hindrance that you'd have. Like, I have mine set for the maximum distance, so I'm seeing that critter there. You may see, closer to, I'd say Bronto, like, you'd see that guy, but beyond there, you probably wouldn't see. You won't see this guy back here on the hill while he's back there on the hill, and you're nowhere near him. You'd have to get about this close to probably see him. But for the most part, I think most of the texturing and all that stuff, you'll have fine. Yeah, no problem, man. I actually had friends who have been playing this game on JP with me, Bronto, who say that they're actually having an easier time than I am, because I'm running a Vega 64 in this thing, and let me tell you, the newer graphics cards seem to not be optimized for this game, or they haven't optimized the back end of this game to those newer cards. So you'll see them try to drive at 80, 90%, 100% on a brand new card, and they don't need that. There's no need for that much graphics power on this game. But I've actually had my friends who are running older cards, like 1050 Ti, and had somebody with a 900 series say that they just were doing really, really nice gameplay where it was only requesting about 50% of their card, and it wasn't taxing them really, and they weren't having a real issue. So, I mean, I would say you're probably going to get a nice experience out of it. You probably can set the settings up pretty high, maybe not the furthest distance, but you probably can set them up almost all the way, if not all the way. Remember, the game initially, Bronto, was supposed to launch to a degree in 2015. So, I mean, we're still working on graphics from then. So, I think it's a pretty game. Don't get me wrong, it's a very beautiful game. But your card was kind of the standard back then, So you're probably going to do pretty good. I don't think you'll be in trouble. This is a game for you, in other words. If you're going to play a game that was built for your system, and definitely this was built for your system. This was built with the average or budget computer in mind. Yeah, this doesn't have my computer in mind. It's going to burn out my graphics card if I didn't cycle it down a little bit. I actually had to turn down the voltage and everything that it was allowing to run to my graphics card just to not damage it, because it was really wanting to tax it, even though it shouldn't and doesn't need to. It's a good game though. I think it's pretty, personally. Pretty fun. Ooh. While we're auto running to the next place, let's go ahead and do some companion shuffle. Let's go ahead and do this guy. Here we are. Grade up. Let's go ahead and do some sacrificing. Oh, first one we got the stronger Okay, cool. So I'm actually going to go ahead and actually not even keep that one. Even though I like that one usually, I'm going to sacrifice him to the one that I find. Where is it? Where's a 10? Come on. Let's see. Do we have a 10 here? Don't tell me we don't have a 10 in all of this. We're where we need to be. Anyhow, we'll keep him for right now, but I'm going to go ahead and put out another. Let's see. Let's find somebody who was a 9 at least. There we are. We'll put him out for right now. I'll fiddle around with the getting a different pet up. I do like that ability. That one right there was the nice one I was talking about that I kind of consider one of the second best to the EXP pets. See, this one here had oh, sorry. Yeah, it wants me to go back because it wants me to kill him instead of focusing on other shit. Oh, wait a minute. It wants me to destroy. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to kill 4 of them, sorry. That's what it was. I don't even read these anymore. Done this one way too many times. Okay. Come on. Here you go, Dusty Leader. Go. Run. There we are. Run! I will chase you down and kill you before you even get your buddies. There you are. Okay. I don't know why it wants me to go out that way. I'm going to go ahead and do this, though. This will make it go faster. Go ahead. Yeah, we're almost to the first dungeon. You can see we're right here on the questing point. There's the first dungeon. This Gizgard lair. So we're going to do this, turn in here. It's going to take us over to this Castro farm here. We're going to do 2 quests there. We're going to come back out. It's going to want us to go back down this road. And we're going to go there, turn in the quest. And while our main quest is going to take us away from there, we're actually going to go in there till 22. But I'm going to at least show you a few runs of that for you. Juice, since that's what you had requested, was in this run, was kind of early hunter experience as a cat. So, as a Panera. Because I always screw up their name, so I always call them Panera. Like the bread company. There you go. So one more level. That puts us to 13. Nothing new to get except for this. Snipe. Ooh, perfect. So let's go ahead and put snipe on that one. And then we're going to go ahead and drag this and put it here. Going to hit save. There we go. Now we have snipe. We're in perfect shape. So this is right here, this ability, Snipe, is one of the best abilities you got, at least on the JP. Sadly, I don't know if it'll be structured the same way for North America, but let's see it in action. Oh, come on. There we go. 1, 2, 3, one shot. There you go. And that is Snipe in a nutshell. It is great for JP at least. It was really wonderful to go into a dungeon, throw that on a boss. You know, early on you could one-shot bosses and not have to worry about things. Later on, yeah, you did have. It wasn't perfectly a one-shot, but you did pretty good. Yeah, it's a nice ability. It's you just don't get it until you get to 13, so you're not gonna see it early, but you get it right here. And I mean, 13's pretty darn early, so you'll get it pretty early. We're almost to the first dungeon now. Okay. Gonna go ahead and let it just auto out. Now we're going to that Thieves' Den, which is... See? It's making me go up here, right to the dungeon. So we're right here now. So see, nothing, has been ridiculous to you at all. Everything's been, I think, pretty comfortable. But while we're here, let's go ahead and look at putting some of this stuff on my bars. So let's see how that pet's doing as well. Oh, he's already level 4, see? Boom. Almost halfway, and we just changed out. Yeah, I just don't want to get rid of that thing, even though it's a character that I'm going to throw away, but I love that little enhance. Gotta wait now till that they get through their little conversation. There we go. He's almost done. Finish up your conversation, NPCs. I wish there was a skip button for that. By the way, F's the skip button for everything else. If you want to skip everything else, just hit the F button repeatedly until it disappears. Great button. Love that F button. Because you don't always want to hit escape. Sometimes you'll escape the game. Here we go. Goodbye. There we go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and sell. Even though since I'm not going to keep the character, I'm just going to junk majority of stuff. There we go. Oh. Yeah, here's the first dungeon. We were actually walking into it. Let's see. But yeah, man. No problem. Have a fun day. Yep. I will probably be around. I usually am. Okay, first boss, first dungeon. Let's see, anything interesting? Zerker, Ranger. Here we go. First pair of gloves. more or less that's 1 through 20ish. That's the first dungeon done. That's everything pretty much out of that. That's the first dungeon completed. To reset. Okay.